Most people think of Roblox as this goofy, blocky platform where kids roleplay pizza delivery or run around in tycoon simulators. And yeah, that side exists. But here's the dark little secret. Roblox shooters are on another level. Some of them are so polished, so realistic, and so addictive that you genuinely forget you're on Roblox at all. The shooting mechanics, the maps, the intensity, it rivals games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, even Valorant. So today, I'm giving you the top 10 Roblox shooters you need to play if you're serious about adrenaline, chaos, and proving your aim is God tier. Let's dive in. If you've ever wanted to see Roblox look like a AAA shooter, Frontlines is your jaw-drop moment. I'm not kidding. This game has visuals so clean, so hyper-detailed, that new players often think it's Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, until they realize, wait, this is Roblox? The devs really went all in here. The lighting is cinematic, the gun models are beautifully textured, and the recoil actually feels like recoil, not just blocky animation slapped on. But the real magic of Frontlines is how it feels to play. Every bullet you fire has weight. Every time you sprint down a ruined street or clear out a dimly lit building, it pulls you in. The maps aren't lazy copy-paste jobs either. They're carefully crafted with choke points, flanking routes, and sniper perches that give you the freedom to adapt. If you want to play casually, you can. But if you want to sweat, slide cancel, pre-fire corners, and clutch 1 versus 3 fights, you'll feel right at home. And the best part? This game keeps getting updates. New maps, new weapons, balance changes. The devs treat it like a live service game, and the community eats it up. Frontlines isn't just another Roblox shooter. It's the game that finally made people stop laughing when you said, yeah, I play shooters on Roblox. Because this thing slaps. And if you haven't played it yet, you're seriously missing out. Now, let's talk about Phantom Forces, the OG king of Roblox shooters. This game has been around for years, and yet it still pulls thousands of players daily. Why? Because Phantom Forces is basically Roblox's answer to Battlefield, with wide open maps, tons of weapons, and gameplay that's just endlessly replayable. What separates Phantom Forces from the rest is the weapon customization. I'm talking about hundreds of attachments. You want to turn your AK into a laser beaming monster with 0 recoil? Done. You want to throw a suppressor on a sniper rifle and become the ghost in the shadows? Go for it. The depth here is wild, and it makes every match feel like you're fine-tuning your playstyle. And let's not forget, the gunplay feels smooth. The movement system has slides, vaults, and trick plays that allow advanced players to absolutely dominate if they put in the time. But the real soul of Phantom Forces? The community. This game built an entire culture of players who treat it like their battlefield. Clan wars, montages, endless debates over the best loadouts. Phantom Forces has seen it all. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's a game that rewards grinding, rewards dedication, and still keeps casual players entertained. Honestly, if you're only going to play one Roblox shooter for the rest of your life, Phantom Forces is still a top contender. If Frontlines is the serious, realistic shooter, and Phantom Forces is the tactical, grind-heavy beast, then Arsenal is pure chaotic fun. This game doesn't care about realism. It doesn't care about tactical flanks or balancing the perfect loadout. Arsenal is all about speed, randomness, and sheer fun, and that's what makes it legendary. The main mechanic is simple. Every time you get a kill, your weapon changes. 1 second, you're mowing people down with a machine gun. The next second, you're stuck with a bow and arrow, a flamethrower, or some goofy weapon that forces you to adapt instantly. No 2 matches ever feel the same because the weapon rotation is pure chaos, and you never know what you'll get next. And it's that unpredictability that makes every game feel fresh. You might be at the top of the leaderboard one round, only to get humiliated the next because you couldn't land a shot with a potato launcher. And that's the beauty of it. But don't get it twisted. Arsenal also takes skill. The pace is lightning fast, the maps are tight and creative, and the competition is sweaty. If you want to improve your reflexes and tracking aim, this game is like an aim trainer disguised as chaos. Arsenal has a vibe that no other Roblox shooter captures. It's lighthearted, it's ridiculous, but it's also insanely addictive. And that's why it deserves its spot in this list. If there's one Roblox shooter that perfectly nails the balance between being casual friendly, but also skill-based, it's Bad Business. At first glance, it feels like a mix between Call of Duty and Apex Legends. The movement system is buttery smooth. You've got sliding, leaning, vaulting, and sprinting mechanics that let you outmaneuver your enemies if you know how to move right. But where Bad Business really stands out is in its gunplay and progression system. Every single weapon feels different, and unlike Arsenal's randomness, here you actually grind and unlock attachments. The customization is insane. You can tweak your guns until they feel like an extension of your playstyle. Want a laser-focused SMG that deletes enemies up close? Done. Want a long-range assault rifle with heavy recoil but insane stopping power? Go for it. This freedom keeps people hooked because the grind actually feels rewarding. And the maps? Man, the maps are brilliant. They're tight enough to keep the action going, but open enough that you can play different styles, whether you're running and gunning or holding angles with a sniper. Combine that with constant updates, events, and cosmetics that let you personalize your character. And you've got a recipe for a game that keeps people coming back day after day. But here's the crazy part. Bad Business is so good that it often gets compared to standalone shooters outside of Roblox. Streamers who normally wouldn't touch Roblox have hopped on this game just to see what the hype is about, and they usually leave impressed. This is the type of Roblox game that makes you realize the platform isn't just for role plays or obbies anymore. It's pushing into the competitive shooter territory, and Bad Business is leading that charge. Now, if you're looking for something a little less hardcore but still ridiculously fun, Big Paintball is the game you need. Don't let the name fool you. This isn't just some casual paintball simulator. This is basically a laser tag battle royale, except on Roblox, and it's addictive. The concept is simple. You shoot your opponents with paintball guns, rack up kills, and unlock better gear. But what makes it shine is how insanely chaotic it gets. Paintballs are flying everywhere. Kill streaks reward you with sentry guns and drones, and the maps are designed to keep you constantly on edge. The pace is relentless. There are no long breaks or quiet moments. You spawn, you push, and you shoot. And the more you play, the better your loadout gets. The progression is simple but effective. You start with basic gear and eventually unlock insane weapons that completely change how you play. It's that loop of quick rewards that makes Big Paintball so addictive. But don't think this is just a kid's game. People actually get competitive in Big Paintball. The maps are cleverly designed, forcing you to think about spawn control, choke points, and movement paths. It's not just spray and pray. If you want to dominate, you've got to outthink the other players while also landing your shots. And that's what gives the game its longevity. It's goofy, it's colorful, it's not trying to be realistic. But that's the charm. It strips away the seriousness of games like Frontlines and Phantom Forces and reminds you that sometimes fun and chaos is all you need in a shooter. And let's be real, there's nothing more satisfying than wiping out a team with your paintball drone and watching the chat explode in rage. For those who love Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Roblox has its very own version, Counterblocks. And let me tell you, this is one of the closest recreations of CSGO you'll find on Roblox, complete with bomb plants, defuses, eco rounds, and clutch situations that'll have your heart racing. This isn't your run-of-the-mill shooter. Counterblocks is tactical, unforgiving, and requires team coordination if you want to win. The weapon system is almost identical to CS:GO. You buy at the start of rounds, you manage your economy, and every bullet matters. Spraying and praying won't cut it here. You need precision, map knowledge, and nerves of steel. The maps themselves are heavily inspired by classics like Dust 2 and Mirage, giving you that familiar tactical feel, but with a Roblox twist. What makes Counterblocks shine is the competitive scene. Players take this game seriously. There are clans, ranked matches, and tournaments that push the skill ceiling higher and higher. If you're coming from CS:GO or Valorant, this is the perfect transition into Roblox shooters because it keeps that same high-stakes, clutch-heavy vibe. But here's the kicker. It's also one of the most intense games to play casually. Even if you're just queuing up solo, every round feels important. You're either the hero who clutches the 1 versus 3, or the guy who chokes and gets roasted by your teammates. And that's the beauty of Counterblocks. It creates moments, those highlight-worthy plays that stick in your head long after you log off. For a Roblox game to replicate that feeling, that's impressive. When we talk about Roblox shooters that feel futuristic but still balanced, Energy Assault is a masterpiece that deserves way more attention. This isn't just another copy-paste FPS. It takes elements of Halo, Titanfall, and even Overwatch, blending them into something uniquely Roblox. The first thing you'll notice is the sci-fi aesthetic. The weapons don't feel like typical AK-47s or M4s. Instead, you're blasting enemies with plasma rifles, energy-based SMGs, and futuristic sniper rifles that sound like they're tearing holes through space itself. The game's movement system is where it gets even better. Unlike the heavy realism of Phantom Forces or the grounded pacing of Counterblocks, Energy Assault lets you play faster, smoother, and way more aggressively. It rewards you for mastering strafe mechanics, map movement, and smart positioning. The time to kill is also balanced, giving you a chance to outplay someone instead of instantly dying to one unlucky headshot. Customization is another area where Energy Assault shines. You can personalize your weapons with skins, attachments, and upgrades that genuinely change how your gun behaves. It's not just cosmetic, it's functional. You can build an energy rifle that's all about precision, or a high fire rate beast that melts enemies up close. That flexibility keeps you experimenting, and in turn, keeps the game fresh. But what really makes Energy Assault stand out is the community-driven updates and competitive vibe. There are clans, there are tournaments, and there's a skill curve that keeps players grinding. It's one of those shooters that can hook you for weeks because there's always something new to unlock, something new to master. It's futuristic, it's fluid, and it's proof that Roblox can compete with mainstream sci-fi shooters. Next up, we've got Recoil, and let me tell you, this game is criminally underrated. If Phantom Forces is the Call of Duty of Roblox, then Recoil is the battlefield of Roblox. It's all about large-scale combat, massive maps, and a chaotic atmosphere where explosions and gunfire never stop. The first time you load into Recoil, you'll feel that difference. It's not just about running and gunning, it's about teamwork, strategy, and positioning. One of the coolest aspects of Recoil is how the developers handled gunplay. Every weapon feels weighty, with recoil patterns that you actually need to control. That alone separates the casual players from the veterans. You can't just spray wildly and expect results. You need to practice, learn your gun, and master its rhythm. Combine that with a slower time to kill compared to games like Arsenal, and you've got a shooter where smart plays win games, not just lucky shots. The maps are another highlight. They're designed for big battles, with multiple routes, sniper spots, and flanking opportunities. It's the kind of game where one squad can hold down a choke point while another sneaks around to capture an objective. That battlefield chaos, where you're dodging grenades, hearing sniper shots whiz past, and sprinting toward a contested flag, makes every round feel cinematic. What's even better is that recoil pushes you to think like a soldier. Ammo management, positioning, communication, they all matter. If you come from games like Battlefield, this will feel right at home, but with that Roblox twist of accessibility and fun. It's tactical, it's immersive, and it proves that Roblox shooters don't all have to be arcade-style chaos. Now, let's step into something a little different, but just as exciting. Zombie Uprising. Technically, it's a shooter, but it flips the formula by pitting you against endless waves of zombies instead of human players. And honestly, it's one of the most intense Roblox shooting experiences you'll ever have. The game drops you into maps overrun by zombies, and your only goal is survival. The waves get progressively harder, the zombies get faster and tougher, and your ammo starts to feel like gold. It's chaotic, it's stressful, and it's ridiculously fun. What keeps you hooked is the weapon progression. You start with basic guns, but as you rack up kills, you unlock insane weapons. From shotguns that shred crowds, to heavy machine guns that make you feel unstoppable. The sound design and chaos of mowing down hundreds of zombies at once is peak satisfaction. But here's the kicker. Zombie Uprising isn't just a casual wave shooter. It actually demands teamwork and strategy. You can't just camp in a corner forever. The zombies will overwhelm you unless you and your team are constantly moving, communicating, and covering each other. Some waves even throw in special zombie types that require specific strategies to handle, forcing you to adapt on the fly. What makes it even scarier is the sheer unpredictability. One moment you're handling things fine, the next you're backed into a corner with no ammo, surrounded by a horde, praying your teammate revives you. That adrenaline rush makes Zombie Uprising an unforgettable Roblox shooter. It blends survival horror with FPS action, and honestly, it nails both. Finally, we have Operation Scorpion, one of the most realistic tactical shooters on Roblox. If you're tired of arcade-style chaos and want something methodical and calculated, this is the game for you. Operation Scorpion is all about precision, patience, and tactics. It's slow-paced compared to something like Arsenal, but every single movement matters. The first thing you'll notice is the gunplay. It's punishingly realistic. Bullets don't always hit where you aim unless you're controlling your weapon properly. Every shot counts, and every decision can be the difference between winning and losing. This isn't a run-and-gun shooter. It's about holding angles, checking corners, and coordinating with your team. What makes Operation Scorpion so unique is the atmosphere. The maps are gritty, realistic, and force you to play smart. You don't have a mini-map telling you where enemies are. You don't get second chances if you push carelessly. It's as close to games like Rainbow Six Siege or Insurgency as Roblox can get, and that alone makes it worth trying. Another brilliant element is the focus on team synergy. You can't win by yourself. You need your squad to succeed. Whether it's breaching a room, setting up crossfires, or holding bomb sites, Operation Scorpion pushes you to think and act like a unit. And when you pull off a perfectly coordinated play, it feels amazing. This is the type of game that hardcore shooter fans dream of seeing on Roblox. It's niche, it's demanding, and it's not for everyone. But for those who crave realism and tactical depth, Operation Scorpion is hands down one of the best shooters the platform has to offer.